Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we are tackling a truly massive task. We've got this stack of sources that, they don't just question history, they kind of obliterate the conventional timeline of human civilization.
You really do.
We're talking deep antiquity, architecture that shouldn't exist, biological anomalies, and then how all these ancient mysteries seem to connect directly to modern government secrecy.
And that's really the core challenge, isn't it? Synthesizing all of this. How do you responsibly connect these, super controversial biological claims from Peru
Right.
with radical archaeological data from Egypt and then tie that to the physics of suppressed technology today? It's about linking deep time with what we'd call high strangeness.
Absolutely. So our mission for you, the listener, is to really get the specific data points that challenge the narrative you learned in school. We want you to grasp the engineering precision that just defies Bronze Age tools, the science of consciousness control that seems to be baked right into megalithic sites. And then finally, the high-stakes political reason why all of this might have been systematically suppressed. So let's jump in. Starting with maybe the most controversial claim.
Yeah.
High in the Peruvian desert.
We have to start with the Nazca mummies. You just have to.
The three-fingered ones.
The tridactyl beings. And look, the immediate reaction is always skepticism. It has to be a hoax, right? Some kind of composite creation.
Of course.
But the sources, they really center their argument on the scientific evidence, specifically the CT scans and the X-rays.
And this is the critical part, because the mainstream criticism is always, oh, they're just pieced together, different animal bones, human remains, whatever.
Right.
So what are the researchers pointing to that counters that?
Yeah.
What makes them say these are genuine?
It's the internal complexity. The images allegedly show these intact, genuine biological structures. You can see bone cartilage, you can see capillaries, heart valves, even evidence of internal organs. It's that consistency of the complex internal anatomy, something that's just about impossible to fake perfectly after death, that forces you to at least consider that these were real living things.
And the really fascinating part, if maybe a little disturbing, is the variation. It's not just one type of being.
No, not at all. The sources detail two main types. First, you have these small ones, maybe 60 centimeters tall, and they have distinctly reptilian traits. Inside, they found 3 large hardened eggs.
Eggs, okay. And the second thing?
The second is the larger Montserrat type, and this one shows clear mammalian traits. And inside, not an egg, but what appears to be a genuine fetus.
See that kind of variation, one egg laying and one mammalian, it just fuels this theory of genetic experimentation, doesn't it?
It does.
It sounds like someone was just churning out prototypes.
That's the phrase, yeah. And the sources even bring up this really provocative local etymology, claiming the name Nazca itself might roughly translate to area of experiment and genetic cloning.
That's wild.
And just to briefly touch on the deep time connection, to avoid the simple alien visitor idea, one theory noted in the sources, from researchers like Dr. Michael Masters, suggests these could be human beings from the far, far future.
Based on how we might evolve over millennia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Based on physiological changes over vast timescales, it's supported by concepts like the many worlds model in physics, which makes time travel possible if you can jump across parallel realities. So the alien is reframed as maybe a deep, ancient, or future part of our own story.
Okay, so let's put a pin in the biological mystery for a second and move to the geological and architectural side of things just north in Peru, because that's equally challenging to the official timeline.
Oh, absolutely. You see the stark contrast in the Andes. You have the simple, rough-cut walls the Inca built, which are maybe 600 years old. They used mortar.
Right, I've seen pictures of that.
And then beneath that, or integrated into it, you have these massive, intricate, megalithic sites, places like Sacsayhuaman.
Made of much harder stone.
So much harder. Diorite, granite, andesite. And these older megaliths, they often look damaged, cracked, strewn about, which suggests some huge geological trauma happened before the Inca even got there. They were just building on top of the ruins.
And the precision of those original megalithic foundations is what it destroys the whole Bronze Age tools narrative.
Completely.
We're talking about things that look like stone softening, right?
Yeah.
Where blocks at Sacsayhuaman look like marshmallows that were squeezed together when they were soft.
And crucially, the interlocking joints. These complex, non-standard corners are engineered to be highly anti-seismic.
Which is a huge piece of the puzzle. It means they were building to survive some kind of planet-shaking catastrophe.
They were, and it goes deeper. I mean, literally, the recent work from the Chincana project at Sacsayhuaman, they're digging down and finding precision carved stone blocks 10 meters deep.
10 meters?
Yeah, it's validating these old Andean legends of a huge underground labyrinth at Chincana connecting Cusco and the Sacred Valley. This was a deep, advanced infrastructure, not just a surface temple.
And then you have that one weird detail that pops up everywhere, those little stone knobs.
The protrusions.
Yeah, you see them in Peru, but also in Egypt and India, all over. If we just dismiss the idea that they were handles for listing, what else could they be?
Well, one theory is they're marks left by some kind of energy-based stone softening tech.
Okay.
But the more intriguing idea, at least for Peru, is that they were stone quipu.
A stone, quipu, like the knotted strings the Inca used.
Exactly. The quipu was their non-written language, a way to record data, history. So these nogs could be a physical, permanent form of data storage, a kind of geological hard drive.
A hard drive. That changes everything. It's not a handle, it's an archive. Okay, let's take that idea, a functional engineered site, and shift over to Egypt. Because you see the same contradiction with the Great Pyramid.
Precisely. We have to get past the "it was just a tomb" story.
It's so ingrained, though.
It is, but look at it. The structures are perfectly lined, 2.3 million stones, and yet, inside the three main pyramids, not a single hieroglyph.
Not one.
That screams function. It screams machine, not a memorial.
And this functional theory isn't just speculation. It's backed by modern tech, like Filippo Bia's SAR scans.
Yeah.
Synthetic aperture radar.
Yeah, and for context, this is peer-reviewed, military-grade tech for imaging deep underground. It's not fringe science.
So what did over 200 of these scans find below the Giza Plateau?
They found about 2 kilometers of subterranean infrastructure, and not just small tunnels. The scans showed enormous pillars with coils wrapped around them.
Coils? Like in an electromagnet?
It suggests an electrical ore, or maybe a hydrological function that's way beyond what we attribute to dynastic Egyptians.
So if it was functional, what was the function?
Yeah.
I find Christopher Dunn's energy generator theory really compelling.
It is, especially when you look at the materials. You have limestone, which is an acoustic amplifier, paired with rose granite, which is piezoelectric.
And that's the key term, isn't it? Piezoelectric. It means it creates electricity under stress.
Exactly. Mechanical or acoustic stress. Think of the clicker on a gas grill. That spark is piezoelectricity. So if you apply powerful sound energy, amplified by the limestone, to that granite, you generate electricity.
And the key's chamber is acoustically tuned to a specific frequency.
Precisely. Between 110 and 115 hertz.
That frequency again keeps popping up. But there were other theories too, right? Something about chemistry.
Yes. The ancient name for Egypt, Kemet, is literally linked to chemistry and alchemy. And you have these iron veins that radiate out from the pyramids, which suggests they might have acted as giant lightning rods, drawing energy from the air.
And the water angle.
Bia's work suggested the underground coils could have been part of a system to draw up water from ancient aquifers.
Yeah.
Just incredibly sophisticated hydrological knowledge.
And you see more of this high-tech function at the Serapeum in Saqqara.
Oh, the Serapeum boxes are they're undeniable. We're talking 70 to 80-ton granite boxes precision machined.
And the sources emphasize they're more precise inside than outside.
Which means they were built to contain something that needed a perfectly stable internal environment. And then you see this incredible precision engineering vandalized, basically, with these crude chicken scratch hieroglyphs added way later.
The contrast is jarring.
It is. But maybe the biggest smoking gun is a plaque in the Cairo Museum itself. It labels the Saqqara area as an ancient laboratory.
They're admitting it right there.
They're admitting it, but they're ignoring it in the public story.
Which brings up the question. If they had this acoustic tech, this 110, 115 hertz tuning, what were they using it for?
And that gets us into psychoacoustic architecture.
Okay, what is that?
It's the deliberate design of buildings to influence human consciousness through sound. And the prime example is the Hypogeum of Malta.
This is that huge underground complex,
Yeah.
right? Carved out of limestone.
Directly out of the bedrock.
Oh.
And acoustic tests confirm it. The Oracle Room resonates precisely at 110 to 115 hertz.
There's that frequency again. Why is it so significant?
Because that specific bandwidth is known to induce alpha and theta brain states.
Meditative states.
Deeply meditative states, associated with creativity, relaxation, and altered consciousness. Visitors have reported these incredibly powerful, disorienting effects, like a bone-chilling feeling where the sound feels like it's reflecting off your own body.
So it's ancient brain hacking.
It really is. And the modern context is just as weird. The sources say that 70% of the hypogeum is restricted.
Restricted by the government.
Yes. Treated like what they'd call a CSCF, a sensitive compartmented information facility. Why would you lock down an archaeological site like that?
Unless there's something still in there, something functional or anomalous.
Well, when they first discovered it, they found hundreds of bodies just piled inside. Not buried, just piled. And with them, these deeply strange, elongated skulls that were missing the sagittal suture.
The seam that runs along the top of our skulls.
The main one, yeah. Lacking it implies a fundamental biological difference, not just cranial binding.
And the local legends are
Chilling. That the living would throw bodies down there to feed whatever was inside and keep it from coming to the surface.
wow. Okay. And this psychoacoustic science, it wasn't just Malta or Egypt.
No, it was global. You see it at Newgrange in Ireland,
Yeah.
which propagates infrasound, that's sound below human hearing that can resonate in your body. You see it at Chavín de Huántar in Peru, another labyrinth with powerful infrasonic reverberation.
So what does that suggest?
It suggests a globally connected, highly advanced civilization that existed before a major cataclysm. They all shared this deep knowledge of physics, of acoustics, and used it to, well, to manipulate consciousness.
And now we get to the modern echo of all this, the suppression.
Exactly.
It seems like academic and institutional circles are they're clinging to these outdated 1800s models, and they aggressively attack anything that contradicts it. It's why figures like Graham Hancock face so much backlash.
And the suppression isn't just historical, it's technological. The sources get into the possibility that a lot of the advanced UAP tech isn't alien, it's human. Suppressed human tech from legacy programs.
Right, like the alien reproduction vehicle, the ARV.
The ARV, or Fluxliner. Sketched by military illustrator Mark McCandlish based on the account of an engineer named Brad Sorensen.
And Sorensen claimed he saw what?
He said he saw 3 hovering craft. They called them Mama, Baby, and Papa Bear, and they were classified as instantaneous nuclear payload delivery systems.
Instantaneous.
And even more, Sorensen claimed he was personally capable of designing an aircraft that could travel at 210 times the speed of light.
210. I mean, that's just... So where did that tech come from?
The argument is that it didn't come from a crashed saucer. It came from suppressed human research. Think of Nikola Tesla's work on electromagnetism.
Right.
The sources note that Tesla's work was overseen by John G. Trump, the former president's uncle, specifically looking for a superweapon during the Cold War. If you invent tech that goes 210 times the speed of light, it doesn't get published. It gets hidden.
It goes into an unauthorized legacy program.
Right.
And that brings us right to the modern UAP disclosure movement, which it's completely split.
Massively split. On one side, you've got the full disclosure people, like Stephen Greer, who are demanding criminal consequences for the people who hid this.
And on the other side,
You have the curated soft disclosure narrative, pushed by figures like Lou Elizondo and organizations like To the Stars Academy or TTSA.
and the sources say their main goal, the unspoken goal, is amnesty.
It's all about amnesty. Think about it. If whistleblowers are revealing these secret legacy programs, that means there's been massive fraud, misappropriation of funds, lying to Congress for decades.
The officials involved face serious criminal charges.
Absolutely. So the push for amnesty isn't about protecting aliens. It's about protecting the human officials, giving them a soft landing so they'll allow disclosure to happen without a fight.
It's a strategic move to get the information out without sending everyone to prison.
It's the only way, they'd argue. The alternative, they fear, is those officials fight it to the bitter end and we get continued total secrecy. Amnesty is the release valve.
So this whole deep dive really just... It confirms these massive gaps in our understanding of history. We've seen evidence of suppressed tech, vast underground sites, non-human biology that doesn't seem to be fake, and this psychoacoustic architecture for altering consciousness.
The sheer volume of this contradictory data, it points to the high probability of suppressed history and these ancient cyclical cataclysms. The real struggle now is breaking the institutional censorship that's preventing us from using this knowledge for our own benefit.
And we know Earth's history is defined by these catastrophic cycles, right? Supervolcanoes, ice ages, geomagnetic reversals. If these ancient civilizations had the megalithic tech we saw in Peru, engineered to be anti-seismic to survive these cycles, they clearly knew what was coming.
They were preparing.
So what fundamental knowledge about these planetary cycles, knowledge they use to build their defenses, has been consciously withheld from us? And maybe more importantly, what specific catastrophe are we currently failing to prepare for by ignoring these ancient architectural warning signs? That's something worth mulling over.